Good evening, guys. Welcome to the Man United Agenda, and this is the preview game for not just any old game. It's the Liverpool Rivalry, and we're back. And welcome to Ozzy as well. Welcome to Pat, Lawless, and Phil. And you are watching the Man United Agenda, so stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. Yes, it's the Man United Agenda, the show all about Man United, and we're delighted. I mean, we've had such a great run of form lately. So I'll ask how you guys are doing. Start with the Man United fans. How you feeling? Cup winners, League Cup. We've got 3 wins in a row. We beat Barcelona. How you feeling, man, about things right now?
Yeah, look, listen, I'm buzzing. I'm still on a high from winning the Carabao Cup, and as sad as that sounds, we couldn't beat Burnley last year. You know, and the way we're producing results at the moment, we're going down. Other teams are getting a goal. We're coming back. Look, what's not to be happy at the moment? We're playing some nice football, and we've got some good footballers.
Phil, you've got a spring in your step right now when you're going into work or with the banter and all that kind of thing. Do you feel like invincible?
I'd love to say that, but I work from home, and there's I don't go into an office, so I do bounce into my office, but that doesn't count. Nobody sees me, and I banter with myself. So, yeah. But yeah, it's all about United in this house. Absolutely, it's absolutely fantastic.
Ozzy, it's the first time I'm meeting you, man. Liverpool fan, thanks for coming on. I'm going to sort of lower the mood now. How are you feeling, bro? Is everything okay with you?
Considering if you spoke to me last week, I wouldn't be on camera, to be fair. Yeah, it's been a weird season, to say the least. I think the midfield is the talking point that everyone talks about in terms of Liverpool. I think there's different areas of the team that is the reason why I've been such demise in the last few months, I would say. So, yeah, not a great time to be a Liverpool fan, especially seeing you guys win the Carabao Cup. You know, a lot of Liverpool fans would be saying, you know, you guys are shameless for celebrating because you were probably taunting us last year, you know, saying, what are you guys doing when we won the League Cup? But for me, it's silverware in the day. So you guys are entitled to, you know, celebrate, have a little jolly time. But I'm hearing quad talk from a lot of United fans as well, which is interesting. So I want to see what you guys think about that. But yeah, for United fans, it's very promising for you guys. For us, it's trying to find some consistency. You know, we would get one good victory and then the fan base is jubilant, and then the next minute we're losing the next game. So yeah, we've got a long way to go to have any say in this season.
So you know what it is, Ozzy? Yeah, we always, when we do preview shows, just like to have rival fans on as well. You're the opposition this week, and we're coming to Anfield. Previous encounters, we know what happened last year. We don't want to talk about that, or maybe you do. but what made you a Liverpool fan? And have you got a channel, by the way? You've got a channel. Pump out your channel, plug it as much as you want right now. Yeah. I'm asking you a couple of questions here. How long have you been a Liverpool fan? Why are you a Liverpool fan? And what's the best encounters? Where's been like rivalry been at its best, like munching at each other between Man United and Liverpool? Talk to me.
Do you know, I've been a Liverpool fan, pulling on reveal my age here, since I would probably say 95. And unfortunately, the earliest memory that I have as a Liverpool fan is the FA Cup final that you guys beat us 1-0 with Eric Cantona scoring the winning goal. So I think that was the season where we had the cream suits as well. So yeah, iconic for the wrong reasons in that regard. So yeah, so that's the earliest memory I have. The reason I support Liverpool is from family. So my cousins are big Liverpool fans. So you could probably say that they're glory hunters because they're older than me. So I followed in their footpaths. I wouldn't say it's been a lot of glorious years since me being a Liverpool fan, to be fair. But in terms of encounters, I always remember us playing against you guys where we're probably terrible throughout the season, but when it comes for Man United, we just perform on the night. So things that come to mind is Danny Murphy free kicks going in. We've had lots of those type of encounters. I think the last few years have been more memorable. But having said that, I think the last few years in terms of Liverpool and United matches, they've been more cagey affairs. So they're not as, you know, tenacious as we would probably be used to seeing in previous years. So last year, obviously, I have to mention, you know, it was like a 9-0 aggregate in 2 games. You know, that's the only positive I can say right now.
We can edit this afterwards, can't we? And just delete that bit out, yeah?
Yeah, that bit out. But yeah, no, for me, growing up, I have a lot of United fans, so it's always been that fierce rivalry amongst friends. The banter, as you can imagine, is endless. So looking forward to it. I'm not in the most confident of spirits as I would be in previous times. I would say I'm more confident than I was last year because, you know, getting battered by Real Madrid certainly humbled us, to say the least. But we managed to notch up a couple of wins here and there. We're not performing to our, not even, I think, halfway in terms of what we're capable of doing. But I think we're taking it a game at a time, see how it goes. Might have that last surge towards the top 4 challenge. Who knows if we get that? But yeah, still looking forward to the game. Not as optimistic as I would do in previous encounters.
So when we talk about previous encounters, it's got no relevance to form because we're going to look at this. Last season, you were flying high and you were kicking our backside up and down Old Trafford and up and down Anfield as well. So Pat, coming to you, previous encounters, let's not talk because it makes no difference. This is a new season, new management, and things are completely different. So previous encounters, what stands out to you and what makes your rivalry with Liverpool so important, apart from being the only 2 teams that Irishmen support?
Oh, hold on a second. I don't know about that. Aston Villa, Arsenal, man. You have to come to Dublin to witness it yourself. But listen, one of the many standout performances that I like to remember was when we bet Liverpool. I think it was either 2-0 or 2-1. And it was Ander Herrera or Mata got both of the goals. So he got a goal apiece. And it was when Steven Gerrard came off the bench and got sent off. And it was like the mighty had fallen. He was coming towards the end of his career. He couldn't keep up with the pace. And he just tried to stick the boot into a couple of players. It wasn't going his way. And he got sent off after about 5 minutes on the pitch. And it was one of my ones that I like to remember because the man, let's get it straight, the man tortured us for many of the years with good performances because he was the player you love to hate because he wasn't on your team.
Phil, coming to you. I mean, you've got the big Old Trafford Stadium behind you. You're a top man supporter. Is it worse living up north near the ground in Manchester? What's it mean to you, this rivalry? And give me a special moment for you when it was really sizzling hot.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Pat's already mentioned the obvious one with Gerrard. That was such a quality moment because he was brought on to change the game, turn it around, and he did turn it around, but completely the wrong way. But I think
he got torn around, Phil.
Absolutely. I think the way I don't like to say this name in United colours, but that Di Maria and Juan Mata game where Di Maria crossed it and Juan Mata with his brace where he got his overhead kick as well. That stood out for me. It was such a fantastic game at the time. We needed it. Sun was shining, Liverpool were bouncing, and we just came back and we just absolutely hammered that game. It was just fantastic. So that one sticks in the mind for me. All my family are from Liverpool. Yeah, it's something first time I've ever admitted it in public. So there you go. But they didn't get me. They did not get me. So yeah, there's a little bit of extra rivalry there as well. So yeah, I managed to escape the claws.
Phil, you say that with your family was on Liverpool. When I was growing up, my father grew up in Manchester, and if I had chosen to follow another team, bar Manchester United, I would have to choose another family as well. So I had no choice.
I think the thing is, my dad was born in Everton, so he was an Everton fan, literally born in Everton town. So he was an Everton fan, but he was never really into it. So he just didn't get the grip on me that he needed at the time. So I made my own choice. Way back when basically before it was before they were winning anything. My mate and his dad used to go every week, and I'd come back and watch the game with them, highlights on Match of the Day, and that was where my passion started. So yeah,
watch the game.
Special rivalry. This, I mean, this is what we look when the fixture lists come out. I always looking for Liverpool.
Yeah,
because this is the massive two biggest clubs in the land, no doubt about it. I just want to say, Aussie guys, there's lovely people in the comments. Let's introduce Aussie again. Aussie Football Podcast YouTube channel. Go and subscribe, guys. If you're watching, go and subscribe. Take a minute out while I go through the comments and go and subscribe to Aussie Football Talk Podcast, please. He may be a Liverpool fan, but you can see he's a gentleman as well, and we need to support the community. And I want to talk about supporting the community. I've got a cup here. I don't know if you guys got your mugs out. Did you bring your mugs in the show, guys? Pat, have you received your mug, Phil?
We haven't got mine yet. What's going on?
I've not got a mug. I've got me United mug with me.
Ah, come on. Here's the logo for the Man United agenda. And if you want a mug like this, I'll just sip it like my little catalogue advert. If you want I'll model it, sorry. If you want a mug like this, not me, the mug.
Yeah, you want a mug like this?
Omondi will personally deliver it.
Yeah. They're wonderful mugs, honestly, because at one side you can get the Man United agenda logo, okay? And if you turn it around, you can get your favourite player imprinted on it as well from Glenn. So here's mine. Oops. Let's see.
As you can see, we all have one of them, you know.
Yeah. My favourite player. Anyway, that's from Glenn. We're going to go through a couple of comments. While we go through the comments, guys, think about how we can rip Aussie. No, I'm joking. Eddie Football Waffle. Do me a favour, guys. It's about community. Go and subscribe to Eddie Football Waffle if you're not subscribed already. Top man, Eddie. We love you, bro. And he's saying big up to everyone in the chat. Matthew Bassett in the house. How you doing, Matthew Bassett? T to the Izu. Big up, lads. Would you pick Rashford or Garnacho to serve Trent on toast? We come on to that. We wonder what Solo thinks, because that's what really matters on here, the Solo 11. Bilal, how you doing, man? He said, hello, gents. Hope you're doing well, Bilal. Ed Mayhem saying big up to everyone in the chat. Amondi, Pat, Phil, and Aussie with a Z, not an S. UK Strange saying, Liverpool getting a lesson on Sunday. Pat's tired from working the Carabao Cup highlights. It is repeat 24/7. Guys, here you go. Look, this is Glenn. He's doing the mugs, as I've just demonstrated there. Man United Agenda mugs. Your favourite player, £15, £20 posted package. That RO Republic of Ireland. Talking, the Man United Agenda. If you want one, guys, everyone should have one. Next time we come on the show, I want everyone to raise their mug. Or we raised the cup the other day. We've got Robbie Norman, another Irishman. How you doing, Robbie? Hope you're doing well. He said, good evening, even to the Scouser. See, you got a lot of love here, man. MUFC saying, new Liverpool reign wouldn't last that long. We're Man United. We had the best possible manager. Klopp is not, maybe saying, Pep, watch out. Sorry, Pat, you're flexing your muscles there.
No. Do you know what? That's a great comment, because every time I see comments like that, I think back to, we could have ended up with Pochettino, Rabia, Arnautovic, Frankie de Jong. How different could our season have been? And I'm sitting here going, thank Walker.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I want to big up to Mick Ruby. Now check out MUFC Realist TV. That's Mick Ruby, and Phil is part of that channel as well. So I can't wait to hear Klopp's excuses after we batter them at Anfield with a 4-0 back. That'd be nice. Obviously, 617 in the comments right now. Press the like button for us if you don't mind.
Cheers, Ed.
HG Gamer saying Everton is a well-supported club in Ireland as well. I didn't know that. Thank you for that one, man. UK Strange saying big up to Aussie. That's right. Big up Oz again. Harry Maguire mug, yes. I want to say hi to Stumpy Candletop. He's saying it's confession time. My dad was a scooter. A scout. Sorry. You don't take Stumpy too seriously. Yeah, beautiful Magamondi. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. And Eddie's saying here, Berbatov hat-trick was an amazing moment. I'm sure we won 3-2. I don't remember the detail about the scoreline, but yes. You've been joined here by Yasin Aussie. He's saying, bring on United. He's a man, no doubt about it. And Rooney goal at Anfield, wearing the black shirt. There's a memorable moment there from Box as well. So we're going to move on now. Here's the thing. Just hear me out first. Let me just set this up for you guys.
Aussie up. I hope you're not setting Aussie up.
No. He's got some explaining. He's going to be straining for some explaining, actually. Here we go. Last season, Liverpool came second with 92 points. I don't think we've ever got 92 points. Wow. 28 wins, 8 draws, and only 2 losses. Transfers out, Mane, Nico Williams doesn't matter. Minamino doesn't matter. Origi doesn't really matter. And Karius, what his name is. We met him the other day. And players in was Nunes, Gakpo, Carvalho, Ramsey, the right back, and Melo. I don't know what's going on with him as well. So the question really is here. You beat us 4-0 on 5-0 last season. The decline of Liverpool and the rise of Man United. We know what's happening at Man United side of things, but we don't often get to hear from a Liverpool fan. What's going on? We got a 10-point gap on you. You've already lost 7 games this season. You only lost 2 last season. The squad's not that much difference. In fact, you've added to the squad, taken out Mane and bringing in like Gakpo and Nunes. What is going on? I don't know. I'll just close it there. What's going on, Aussie, man? Talk to us. This is a therapy session. Let us know.
You might have to get the violins out to begin with, because I think the first thing I'll say is injuries has played a part as well. A lot of our key players have been injured. So that's been one of the demise. But the key for me is the midfield. We haven't really recruited. I think in the last 4 or 5 years, we've only signed one midfielder, and that was Thiago. And he came out as a 29-year-old. So we haven't really strengthened that position where we've signed younger players. The reason I say younger players is because our midfield isn't a traditional midfield where they're not there for creativity. They're there to be the engine room of our team. So
great.
Our current midfield, I think the youngest is Fabinho, and he's 29. So you can see it's an aging midfield. We've still got Milner, 37 years old, still playing at right back, which is even ridiculous at the moment. So
still beating everybody on bleep tests as well. Apparently, I do hear.
I know. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's doing it, but yeah, he's managing it somehow. Hopefully, he's not doing it next summer, because I expect more incoming in terms of new players. But it's been a crazy one, and I think a lot of the fan base, there's a lot of noise coming from different areas of our fan base. So some people say that our number 2, Pep Linders, is having more influence on the team, which I can see to some extent, but I wouldn't solely say it's blame the number 2, because we're not really playing with that gegenpress that we're used to playing. We're not playing with any high press. We're not playing with a lot of intensity. Ironically, the book that our number 2 release was called Intensity, and we've lacked it since he released that book. So that's a bit of a bad luck omen there. But we just adopted different tactics. It hasn't worked. We still play with a high line, which for me, at this stage, we don't have the players to play in that manner. So, and also with our midfield, with it being an aging midfield, our fullbacks are getting more exposed. Hence why Trent Alexander-Arnold has become the scapegoat of our team, where he's always pointed at as that, he's the guy that, people should target, and rightly so. If he's off form, then that is the player that you should target. But I wouldn't say he's been one of our worst players. One player for me that's been quite awful is Fabinho. This time last year, I think everyone arguably would have said he's one of the top DMs in world football. For me, he's not even in that ranking anymore. So yeah, it's worrying times. Obviously, recruitment is required in the summer. We were hoping for new ownership. FSG tried to drop a bombshell to say that they're selling the club. I read through that propaganda. They weren't selling the club. They just wanted new investment within the club to spend for the next summer. They're not really trying to get any money out of their pockets. They're very stingy in that manner. They'll actually sell to buy. That's been our policy over the years. So yeah, it's not positive times for Liverpool. A lot of players are leaving on a free. As you guys probably know, Robert Firmino has confirmed that he's leaving the club today. So yeah, it's hard times, I would say, for Liverpool fans right now. Not completely over, but we've got Klopp. I'm still Klopp in. I know a lot of fans have dismissed that and say, look, Klopp out. He's the reason why we've fallen apart. But for me, he's still a quality coach. But we just need some reinforcements in the summer. So fingers crossed, see how it goes.
Brilliant. We're going to come to the 2 Man United fans just to analyse what you said and see what they agree with. Because obviously we do watch other teams as well. What's the deal? Phil, come to you first. What's the deal? I mean, Ozzy's gone into some real detail there. Mainly talk about the midfield, talk about finances and the club and the ownership, talking about aging players and that kind of thing. Does that stand up for you, or just sound like a Klopp kind of excuses?
I mean, Klopp has got a book of excuses. It is almost like the highlight of the show when he comes up with the grass was a bit too green and it wasn't quite dry enough and stuff like that. But those aside, I think with what Ozzy was saying, something you can't deny the fact that they have got an aging squad. They bought Fabinho thinking it was going to be the steal of the century. They snatched Thiago under the nose of United as it appeared in the press at the time. And he did. I think Thiago's best game probably was against United. I don't know if you agree with that or not, Ozzy. And he absolutely bossed the midfield when he turned up at I think it was at Old Trafford, possibly even last season. But apart from that, I don't think he's been the stellar signing that you thought you were getting. I think one of your biggest problems was letting Mane go at the same time. Obviously, Ruben Diaz came in to plug that gap, and he's been injured, which is a massive miss for you. You've missed Jota and Diaz. And Nunes didn't hit the ground running, as somebody said in the comments as well, and got his early red, which knocked him back. And I think that had a big impact on you. But I think that whether it's 7-year Klopp We've heard lots about that. You know, he's here for 7 years and then he's off, or he just loses the team. Do you think that's, you know, is that the case? Is he gone, or is he just feeling? Was it a time when there was very little pressure because others weren't performing and he was able to look better than he was? But now that United, you know, we've had our 2 bad games at the beginning of the season. Ten Hag's coming absolutely storming. Klopp couldn't stop talking about him today, and you know, Ten Hag wasn't really interested in talking about Liverpool. So I think there has been a seismic shift in terms of the mindset, because everyone was saying in the pundits last year were all saying like, oh, United won't be back for years now. We saw this with Liverpool. They were gone for 15, 20 years. Well, actually, it's 15, 20 minutes in that lifespan. We're back already, and Liverpool are on the decline again. So bit of balance, but a bit of truth as well at the same time. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Thank you, Phil. Going to come back to you in a minute, Ozzy, because loads of questions for you. But Pat, okay. I mean, look, how can you go from second place, 92 points, to what's going on at Liverpool right now? What's your version of things? How do you speculate?
Yeah, cool. Look, me, I'm a firm believer now. Ozzy, you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong, right? But this is me looking from the outside. I think football, and especially in our league at the moment, it's very fine margins. So back in the end of 20, I think it was 2021-22 season, you just lost 2021-22 season, you just lost Georgie Wijnaldum to PSG because of some sort of dispute about money, or I can't remember at the time. But he went and he left. So it was something to do with contracts. So I think he was he was a fantastic footballer, very underrated from people looking at the Liverpool squad. All they saw was the front 3 scoring goals. They didn't look at how good Wijnaldum was. No, it wasn't just Wijnaldum was the main reason why Liverpool were doing so well. Yeah, look, it's, as I said, it's fine margins. You lost Wijnaldum, you brought in Thiago Alcantara, superstar footballer in my eyes, but unfortunate with injuries. But what can you do? He's brought him in. The season went in. He's done all right, but as soon as Fabinho lost his form, Jordan Henderson's getting on a bit. James Milner's getting on even more. And the proof is in the pudding. It doesn't matter who you have up front. You bought your Diaz, you bought all these Gakpo, you bought great players. But these players are nothing without a midfield. And Manchester United currently are the proof in the pudding of that. We brought in Casemiro, we brought in Eriksen. Now we brought in Sabitzer. And all of a sudden, our team is transformed, obviously, along with a manager. So until Liverpool sign more than at least one high-quality midfielder and one kind of what we've brought in is Sabitzer, who's going to grow into the squad, you aren't going to get out of that form. But it can be changed massively if you have them. Because, look, let's not get it twisted. Trent, Robertson, like, I think Van Dijk's excellent. What's the other lad's name who plays beside
Konate?
No.
Matip.
Joe Matip. I think he's one of your best defenders you have in the club, up there with Van Dijk. And then, look, I don't need to talk about your top players. Jota, Diaz. Who's the other fella, the little Egyptian fella? I can't remember his name. I can't remember him. I'm very sad to see Fabinho going, because he's the kind of fella who's a foul guy as well for a poor midfield. He'll probably get one chance up front, where normally he'd probably get 10 chances to score a couple of goals. So it's all down to the midfield. It's all down to the spine. Manchester United we brought in a rock-solid defence, we brought in a rock-solid midfield, and the whole team has changed around, and that's Liverpool's problem, in my eyes, at the moment.
Can I just do me a favour, Ozzy? You're going to answer a few questions here from people in the comments. Make it really punchy. We're just going to go through them really quickly. Fabinho's leaving the end of the season, end of an era. Just quick summary on that. Yeah,
sad news, to be fair. I think it is the right timing for him to leave. He has been a bit more of a bit part player. Master of that false 9 position, in my opinion. But yeah, sad to see him leave, but I think it's the right decision for him to go.
Big up. This is Crystal Palace fan Richard, Eagle Eye Football. Let's give him a wave and subscribe to Eagle Eye Football, man. Top man, Richard. And hopefully we can do some damage. I know you're playing one of our rivals soon. I was checking the fixtures. Jeff, don't worry about this. He says Scousers are going down. But let's go to some more questions here for you. He says, Oz, I blame Nunes for your troubles. Missed so many chances and a red card early on. Talk to me. Punchy.
I wouldn't blame Nunes to start off. I think he's still quite raw. He's still getting used to the way we play in the Premier League. Obviously, the red card didn't help, but no, I wouldn't say he's the reason for our troubles at the moment.
Okay, Box here. Hi, Box. How you doing? He said Keita never got going for Liverpool, in my opinion. What's the story, Keita? How much you spend on him?
50-odd million.
What's your thoughts?
Not money. Oh, he's been awful. I'm not his biggest fan. I've said it quite publicly on my channel as well. Yeah, I'll happily drive him out of Liverpool. To be fair, so yeah, I'm glad to
I've
see him.
got uppercut for you coming up now. You need to take this one. Take a running kick to the bollocks with this one. Ask the Liverpool fan about FSG and decided not to sell. Talk to us.
It's no surprise to me, if I'm being honest with you. They're here for the money. They're not going to sell the club in quick fashion. They're looking for investors. That was always their plan from the beginning. So yeah, no surprise as a Liverpool fan.
The boxer saying Liverpool either overplaying Milner or Henderson or overplaying, I can't pronounce his name, the youngster, Elliott and Carvalho. No balance. Don't need to respond to that. Eagle-eyed football is saying here. Question for Ozzy. Is there disharmony in the camp? Both Terence Arnold, Trent Arnold,
Trent Alexander.
sorry. Wish him well, kiss him down. Elliott seems to have digs at Henderson during the Palace game. Do you see disharmony amongst the camp from where you're watching?
It's facts. I did notice Trent having a go at Henderson. And to be fair, I kind of understand it because Henderson has been one of our worst players in the recent months. So if Henderson is shouting at Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'd feel outraged as well if I was Trent. So you can only dish out in terms of what you're saying to the person. They're both not playing well. So I think there's only a certain level a captain can be vocal to another player. You have to be quite understanding the situation where if everyone's not having a great game, you have to be a bit more sort of monitor in terms of how you speak to your other players. So yeah, I did notice that, but it's not a big deal within the camp right now.
Just two more for you, Ozzy. I know that we're putting you on the spot here. Interrogation time. Got a flash right in the face right now. Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV. Go subscribe, guys. That's a plug. He says, problem with Liverpool is that they invested in attack, and every man is dog knows they need midfielders. Gakpo, two left-footed noodles. What's he saying, Phil? What's he saying? You know,
Cody Gakpo.
Yeah,
he said he's Cody Gakpo two left.
Oh, all right. All right. Okay. Mick say this. Just answer. Yeah. Was that you should have bought midfielders instead of attackers to finish up?
I think we're probably waiting for the right players available in the summer. So that's why we didn't invest in January. Gakpo, for me, was brought in to replace Firmino. He was that replacement. Yeah. So he plays that similar role, plays as a sort of false 9 or 10, and can play on the left wing. So he was brought in for that sort in mind. But I think we will be... Well, I'm praying that we sign some midfielders in the summer.
All right. We're finishing up now. We'll come to you. Sorry, Pat, go ahead.
Just a quick question for Ozzy. Ozzy, like what you just said there, you brought in Darren Núñez at the start of the season and you brought in Cody Gakpo. So it's like Liverpool were trying to build the team around the team, and they weren't just going out and buying any yellow player. I think now thinking about it, I just don't think Liverpool as a club and Klopp as a manager expected the midfield to be so poor this year in Fabinho mainly and Henderson. As the decline of Henderson and the form of Fabinho, just like nobody expected it.
Especially Fabinho, I think.
It's like Space Jam. You ever seen the movie Space Jam where the aliens rob the basketball players' powers? That's what the Liverpool midfield like.
Ozzy, do you think that Liverpool are just kind of waiting to see if this Jude Bellingham deal gets over the line?
But you think I don't think that's the solution, lads. That's another Thiago Alcantara bringing into the team. Yeah. He's attacking. He's not a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, like
he's not a Casemiro. He's not going to come in there.
He'd be a great addition, but he's not the answer to our problems. We need at least 2, 3, even some would probably say 4 midfielders in our squad. So Bellingham would be nice, but obviously the finance involved to get that deal over the line is ridiculous right now. So I hope Liverpool aren't putting all the eggs in one basket with Bellingham. That wouldn't be the right way to go. We need dramatic surgery within this squad. So for me, it's more numbers than getting the 1 or 2 odd players here and there.
But with Liverpool's problems trying to bring in Bellingham now, it's like Man United going back and we needed a defensive midfielder for like 8 years. Yeah. And what do? We brought in Pogba and Sanchez and we're like, oh, Jesus, why isn't this not working? You know, what about that car run when they still haven't put wheels on it, you know?
Yeah. I want to say hi to DN Vlogs. He's saying I'll be in Manchester on Sunday and would have loved to go to Liverpool, but have to come back, unfortunately. So hopefully, he can still get to watch the game. And T2 to Izzo saying the problem with Liverpool is that they are Liverpool. Oh, come on, give them a break. All right, that's the decline of Liverpool. I think you've done a great job in responding to all the questions there from the comments and from the panel as well. We're talking about the rise of Man United. I mean, it's quite simple. Just put it in a quick sentence. Phil, let's start with you. Just break it down, really. What's the rise? What's the key factors here bullet points for me. With this
Bullet points.
Yeah.
3 bullet points. Eric, 10. Hag. Simple as that. He is absolute transfer on the club. He's not afraid to make the big calls. He's got rid of the big players and the big names. He's showed the players who stick around who's boss. He's set the rules out large and he's stuck to them. And he's not been afraid to speak about it in the media in the right way, not slaying to the player saying he's too fat and he can't run, he doesn't know how to play football like Mourinho did, but actually saying, no, he didn't turn up for training. He was late, so he's not starting. Yeah, he is our most informed player, but he's being punished. Like Ronaldo, when he walked out with the kids, said, yeah, he shouldn't have done it. He's had his warning. He did it again. He said, yeah, now he's in trouble. So he absolutely laid down the law. Absolute massive difference. My last bullet point on Ten Hag, apart from his team around him, is his signings. Everyone has hit the nail. Everyone is absolute perfect so far for what we need.
Pat, over to you. Bullet points. Bam! Fire away.
Martinez, defence, shored up. Midfield, Casemiro, shored up. Best possible manager available. We have him right now.
Brilliant. All right, that was short and sweet. All right, guys, what we do now, this is the drum roll because we're going to try and predict. We got Solo. We know Solo. You know Solo, don't you, Ozzy? He's the boss man around here. He's not around today, but he does a Solo 11. And we're going to ask you guys what you think as well. We rested players midweek, just about got through, had to bring on a few subs, but it's the big game against Liverpool. No doubt that's going to be massive for us. We want to play our best team. So hopefully, Solo, we're going to put up Solo's team now. Hopefully, you guys will agree that this is the best team to beat Liverpool. And we're going to go through it, guys. So I'm going to start with you, Pat. Solo 11, drum roll, please. Bang. Have a look, guys. Let's break this down. Look at the defence. Cover the defence for us, Pat.
Right, so we're going for two defenders, a left back and a right back, Ozzy, that we all as fan base probably would have said we need to get rid of last year, that have completely shocked us all. Martinez, Ozzy, I've only met you for the first time. If you know me, I'm the biggest Martinez fan out there, and Varane is just he's a winner, and he's managing to stay fit at the moment. So to me, we haven't had a back four like this that's staying fit since the days of Vidic, Ferdinand, Evra, etc. And that's me. Look, I can't speak highly enough. At the moment, we seem to be alternating Aaron Wan-Bissaka with Dalot, which is a good thing to have because we didn't have that before. And the same with Tyrell Malacia, who's a little bit down the pecking order to Luke Shaw, but when he comes in, he does a job, and I can't say much more than that.
People are saying good team in the comments here. What do you think? What's the threats here? Because obviously Liverpool got Salah, they've got Gakpo, Nunes. Is that enough to deal with them? Let's talk about the defence here. Pat, and then we'll pass it on to Phil for the midfield for me, please.
Is that enough? Yes, that's to me now. That defence is enough, but it all depends on who they play in the midfield. So, he has Sabitzer in there at the moment, but I would have thought he's probably going to play Fred in a game like that because what he would do would probably be similar to what he'd done to Frankie de Jong during the week. He's going to have a certain individual marking the most informed player, the likes of Salah, and they're going to torture the life out of him. So we might see Fred in there before Casemiro, but there was talk of him picking up a knock at the start of the week. But look, we heard that about Marcus Rashford in the Carabao Cup final, and that wasn't to be, and he started.
Phil, over to you. Let's talk about midfield. We're up against the mighty Liverpool with their age in midfield. What would you agree with Solo here? He's gone to the bits of Casemiro. And what are the threats there of Liverpool? What do we need to counter here?
Yeah, I think I've been shouting for Casemiro to see Casemiro and Sabitzer together since they were both available, because the one's not been available because of injury or whatever else and suspension. But when we have seen it, it wasn't Sabitzer's best performance. So I just think that Ten Hag will start with Fred. I think, we've already talked about Liverpool's age in midfield. They've got that young kid, forgive me, I forget his name, Bastic, something like that. Yeah. So, but who seems to be doing quite well. But all the plaudits are going to this young 18-year-old who seems to be the best player on the pitch at the moment. And all due respect to an 18-year-old, he's not doing that great. So I just think with Casemiro's experience and Fred playing with Casemiro the way he does, it just obviously just depends on whether he's got Shaw or Malacia available, because Shaw's a bit of an injured out. I think he'll probably make it, and hopefully he will. Which I think the midfield that we've got there, When you say midfield, do you want me to talk about Rashford, Bruno, and Anthony as well, or is that?
Well, pass it on. Yeah, talk about it, but we want to pass it on to Ozzy. See what insight he has about Man United and what he thinks about that starting three as well. So yeah, you start them off and.
Yeah, very quickly. I think Rashford on the left, we know that's his best position. We've seen it all season. It's absolutely fantastic the way he's playing. His pace, he can outplay pretty much anybody on his day, and his ability to lose a player and his shots, and he's just on form at the moment. Anthony, always a question mark because he's still learning his game. But I think he is getting more stuck in. He's slightly changed his style where he cuts in a little bit more inside. Into that first, he was trying to keep going down the wing all the time, kept getting found out, kept getting caught out. But he's playing a bit smarter now. He's playing with Fred or Casemiro, who drafts a lot to the right and plays little triangles with him and Bruno as well. So I think that's the best lineup. But over to you, Ozzy. What do you think of do you think this attack will trouble your defence?
I think the key player, for obvious reasons, is Rashford. I think he's the one that really worries me looking at that lineup. Whether he plays up top or on the left-hand side, he's found his balance this year where playing either position, he's so effective. He's very calm in front of goal now, which is probably one of his sort of criticisms over the years. And for me, he's been very clinical. So I think out of the front players you have, he definitely worries me. Anthony, no shade, but I don't think he worries me at this stage. He's been quite inconsistent this season. I'm not sure who Liverpool will start. A lot of fans will probably say Robertson, but Tsimikas had a good game against Wolves the other day, so he might be in contention. So I wouldn't be too worried in that regards. Weghorst, for me, I think Van Dijk will probably have him in his pocket, to be fair. But he can be quite troublesome in terms of his using his physical attributes. We've got Konate back, so for me, that's a very big positive going into this game. I know Pat mentioned Matip. Matip has been slightly off the boil in the last few weeks, and Konate is the one that Liverpool fans are really having high hopes for. So look, it looks like a very strong lineup, to be fair. The Sabitzer one surprised me. I think I do expect to see Fred starting. I think he's been probably like the unsung hero this season for United, where he's done the dirty work, but he's very effective in the game. And it'll be interesting to see how Casemiro goes up to his fellow Brazilian, Fabinho. I know I've been, insulting Fabinho saying he's been poor all season, but picked up a bit of form in the last couple of games. So we'll be interested to see how that battle unfolds.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much. So Solo gets a lot of respect. That's a good, decent team. I can't really complain with that. We're going to go to predictions now, guys. And also, before we do, think about hard predictions. It's going to be an interesting game, really. Liverpool's had a bit of a good run now. They've had a couple of games since that 5-2 brushing, where they've sort of come back with a little bit of form. I thought the Newcastle played really well against you, and we're fortunate not to have that man sent off, which the goalkeeper, which helped us in the end with things. But I think, yeah, you've really coming on to a little bit of form. UK Strange says Sabitzer or Fred or Casemiro and Fred must start no matter what. Big up to Jeff, who says Sabitzer is better than Fred. Mick Ruby here is saying that's the same lineup he predicted earlier in his show. Go check out his show. That's Mick Ruby, MUFC Realist. Check them out. Jeff saying Sancho seems to have Liverpool's number. Eddie's saying here, I still don't like Weghorst. I'll go Rashford up top. And Fred in there, he's on form. Maybe Sabitzer could start Garnacho after his winner the other day. Want to say hi to someone we respect really highly here. It's Brush, simply Brush. We rate him, bro, and hope you're doing well. And keep the comments coming in. And also, Mr. B's in the house, and he's saying he's the most confident he's been in years. And you can check out Mr. B at 10 o'clock tonight. Right, Pat? They're doing Friday night takeaway every Friday. With Callula. Oh, wow. There you go, guys. I mean, what more do you want? You've got Callula, Mr. B, and guests, and they'll be talking everything about this game and the Premiership and all.
Ozzy, Ozzy's on the Mellow Show. If you want to see crazy reactions, the watershed's out the window, Ozzy. Watch the 10 o'clock show. You'll know all about it.
And also, big up to Emma as well. Emma's in the house. She's just arriving late. But here we go. Predictions. 4-0. There's MUFC. Asking you guys now. We've talked about the game. We've talked about the decline. We talked about the rise of Man United, like Phoenix from the Flames. Using Phoenix in reference to your logo, Liverpool. I'm trying as much as I can to dig you, but it's not working. You're very cool. I like you, Ozzy. So we're talking about predictions now. We're going to Anfield. They whooped us there last season. Look, if you look at the league, it's really quite tight. We're like 11 points off Arsenal with a game in hand. We win that, we go back to 8 points. Then we can start talking about title again. We're just off Man City as well. Liverpool mind you, even though they've had a poor run, if they win, there'll be a few points off Spurs, who are in the top 4, and Newcastle. So they've got their own little private battle going on. It's a massive game. Score predictions. I'm going to start with you and pass it on.
You're going to the Cup. All right, it's a fortress. Form goes out the window when you go to a stadium like that with a lineup like this of Manchester United against Liverpool or Liverpool against Man United. I would like to see us win 2-0. The likelihood of that is I don't know. So I'm gonna say 2-1 because it's just gonna be a tough battle. We're gonna get stuck in, and it all depends on who turns up on the day because this is a big duel for new players to our team. The likes of Casemiro, the likes of Martinez. I know these guys have been in big derbies before themselves, or not big derbies, just big games like this. But this is a big game. This is going to be a test of strength and character for this Manchester United squad, who seems to be on the incline at the moment, and hopefully it keeps that way. So it's going to be a battle of wits on the day. 2-1 to Manchester United.
I love that. Over to you, Phil. Scoreline prediction, please.
Yeah, I think when you look at United's history, the last time that we failed to score more than one goal was the 18th of January. That was against Palace. Since then, we've scored 2 goals or more in every single game. So it's got to be at least 2, even though Liverpool have kept quite a good defensive structure at Anfield. They've kept the walls up, as Pat said. They're only just starting to get a little bit of form. And that was, it was a 0-0 against Palace and a 2-0 against Wolves. So I just think that we're on the ascendancy at the moment. I think obviously they'll try and turn up for us, but I just think that we owe them one for last year as well. So I'm going to go 3-1.
All right, you've heard it. It looks like it's all Man United at the moment. But Ozzy, you've got an opportunity here, sort of play it big, and hopefully we can snip this and talk to you after the game. What do you reckon? On the real now, you've been watching your club, you've been watching Man U. It's a massive clash. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday? Talk to us, bro.
I think it'll be a cautious affair. I don't think both teams will be going sort of guns blazing as soon as the whistle goes. I think it'll be quite a cautious game. Liverpool have picked up form, but as previously mentioned, they've just picked up a little bit of form. We're not back or in shadow of that imagination. So for me, I'm going for a draw. I think it will end 1-1. It's not a result that suits either team. And we're trying to climb up the table in terms of the top 4 challenge, and you guys are trying to go for the title as well. But I don't think we're in best form for us to kind of eclipse. We're not scoring a lot of goals. I can't see us scoring more than 2 goals right now. So yeah, I'm going for probably a cautious prediction, but it's the prediction I think will happen. So I'm going for a 1-1.
Wicked. So we've got 4-0 MEFC. We've got 2-10. There's HD Gamer.
It's a basketball scoreline there.
That's like Stumpy down the top. He usually says something like that. We win by goal, says Box. 3-1 says Mr. B to Man United. 2-2 draw, says Bill Badger. 3-1 says Jeff. Is that home away? Who's winning?
I think he means 3-1 to Man United, Jeff.
Oh, good. 3-2 to Man United away. 4-1 says Emma. She's really confident.
Less confident, but she's going with a 4-1.
3-1 says Jeff. Rush agrees with you, Pat. He's saying 2-1, and there's a draw here. And big up all the way from Jamaica. It's Jordan. He's saying, "Can I join? You can join. The transfer window shut. Who you want to join? You want to join Liverpool? You want to join the Man United agenda? You can join. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jordan. Jordan's all the way in Clarendon, I think, in Jamaica, if I'm corrected. I'm not sure. But big up, Jordan. Welcome to the Man United agenda. All right, Ozzy. Now it's time for you to plug your show. You come in the Man United agenda. You faced all the abuse. There's hardly any, really. We treat you good, man. We treat you with respect. I'm going to sign up to your channel when I finish the show. So just talk to us about what you do with your channel and how you're getting along.
Thank you, guys. Firstly, thank you for inviting me to the show. Really enjoyed my time here, despite the little questions here and there, but it's all good. So my channel is Football Talk Podcast. You can follow me at Aussie FTP on Twitter, and you can search Football Talk Podcast on YouTube. And please like, comment, and subscribe. I don't just cover Liverpool. I cover the Premier League. So I do weekly shows where I cover all the games. And I also do some content for Liverpool as well. So yeah, it's not just one biased sort of show. I do speak about everyone in equal fashion. So yeah, so that's my show there.
Guys in the comments, what do you think of Ozzy? I think he's great. I think he's come on. He's held himself like a gentleman. And hopefully we can invite you back after the game. Maybe we do a post-match show if you're up for it, depending how it feels. If you win, you probably will be pinning me off, But make sure you keep in touch. It'd be a pleasure having you on, Ozzy. Don't you think, guys? Pat, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. True, Jen. Great conversation. Not too much banter at us. We were all right. Maybe last season it might have been a different show, but I think you were just keeping yourself quiet, keeping your cards close to your chest, taking no chances. We'll see how we'll see his true colours after the game.
I'll be shameless.
Final word, Pat, before we sign out.
No, Ozzy, absolute gent. You were fantastic to come on. Thanks very much. We were never going to give you a pale, and we don't do that to anybody who comes onto this show. We spend more time slagging each other than we do rival fans. But anyways, guys, I've really enjoyed myself tonight. Thanks very much. Make sure you give us a like, share, and subscribe. We're on the way to 4K. It costs nothing, and we really do appreciate it. It gets us out there, and do the same for Ozzy on the Football Talk podcast, because that's where I'm going straight after this show.
Don't forget, guys, get your mugs from Glenn and the Man United Agenda with the Man United Agenda logo on them. Don't forget the merchandise there. And also, don't forget, please, go and take a little break. Don't watch Love Island. Go and tune in at 10 p.m. to Mr. B's Takeaway with Callula, Mr. B, and guests. And trust me, just kick back, enjoy the show. And hopefully we have a lovely weekend like we did last week. Guys, it's Liverpool versus Man United. This was the preview show. Hopefully we will be rejoicing again, doing a watch-along on Sunday, at 4 o'clock, and then the post-match show as well after that. But from us, Omondi, Pat, Phil, and Ozzy, we're signing out. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.